welcome back to the Wild Cardinal Network. I'm Mitchell Swanson. I'm here with senior Cooper Kurth, football and basketball player. Cooper, thank you for joining us.
It's great to be here.
This is Cooper's senior interview we're doing. And Cooper, quite an amazing senior year this has been, especially in football. And, to start off with the first question about football, switching to tight end last year and playing tight end again this year, you had 22 receptions for about 300 yards and a game-winning touchdown against John Carroll. Also, for the first time in school history, won a playoff game and went to the state semifinals. What was your outlook on this year, and how do you feel about this memorable season?
Above anything, it was just so much fun, and I think that's why I stress to most people, especially like when you stop playing football, you miss it because it's fun, and there's aspects of it that are hard. Obviously, like everything that's good is going to be hard, but it was so much fun, and it was also awesome to bring our school a sense of pride because, as you know, for years, our football team is kind of known as the team everybody wanted to play because they thought it was a free win.
Yeah. And,
I saw us progress as a team that nobody wanted to play. We started knocking off programs that have been around forever, like UMS, and it just was there's something really special about that. And above all, it was just so much fun to be out there with the guys. And my tight end, my fellow tight end.
Now, moving on to question number 2. What were some of your favorite memories from your football career at St. Michael?
Ooh, I think, I don't know. I have a couple. It was really cool when I was in 8th grade to play in the Jamboree. It was like a JV type thing. We played against Alma Bryant. Mm-hmm. That was really cool. I remember that, just from being, I was still a Christ King at the time. So it was cool to play in a high school game. The football retreat my junior year was super fun. I think everybody remembers that.
Yeah.
Gaga ball.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
Fun game.
I really enjoyed my first varsity start against Gulf Shores. Was really cool. I got to go, match up against Ronnie Royal and some of those guys. And it was one of those where, it was kind of like a boy to a man moment. And then this year, I would say the Bayside game and the John Carroll game were my 2 favorite moments. Bayside was just incredible, finally be our rival.
Yeah, absolutely.
We slipped the first couple of years of playing them, of, me being in high school. And then, having that game-winning catch with John Carroll, definitely a special moment. Probably my favorite overall, just because that game was kind of a story in of itself, with Brady getting hurt and all of that. And, we were just struggling. So that's probably my favorite moment. But there's so many. If I had to talk about all of them, I could talk for, an hour or so.
Absolutely. And now, moving on to basketball, how has the season been for you, being only one of 2 seniors on the team?
It was good. It was cool. Me and JMO have been playing basketball together since 4th grade, I think, since I could play.
Yeah.
And it's always just fun to play with him. I think we have a really good connection on the court, and then obviously he's one of my best friends off. So it's been really cool. And despite our record, playing basketball is something else that I think is fun. So regardless of whether we're winning or losing games, going out with a lot of my good friends and just playing, competing. I like to compete a lot. So to me, that made it worthwhile. I think as long as you're competing hard, nothing goes to waste as long as you're competing.
Absolutely. Now, talking about football and basketball both, how was the transition for you from football to basketball?
Well, it was immediate, and it was pretty harsh because you go from a state run in football, losing to maybe the best 4A team that's ever been conceived to, on Monday going and shooting layups and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was harsh on me. We played UMS, I think, the second day I got back.
That was a rough
And
one.
it was awful. We lost by 40, but none of us had touched basketball in so long because we've been playing football just for so long.
Yeah.
And it was rough. So the transition was good because I wouldn't have been able to go from doing football and all we did in football to going home and taking naps and stuff and not doing anything in 8th period. So it was good. I always like to be doing something active. Even now that basketball is over, yesterday I went and just lifted after school because it's I need to be doing something that makes me better and not sitting around. And basketball kind of was, helps with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about those sports, when you're in the face of adversity or hard times, either in life or in sports, what do you fall back on, and what do you do to get you through that adversity?
The cliche but true answer is pray. Anytime I get nervous for a game, I pray before every game I think I've ever played in high school or started in high school. I knew I was going to play, and I think that's the most of it. I just pray for peace because obviously adversity is something you're going to experience in sports, whether it's something's hurting you or you're playing an opponent that's really good or there's a lot of people watching you. I think being nervous is like a part of the game. And that's like the main form of adversity most people face. So, I mean, I think praying to God for peace and praying that you can play for Him, to use the talents that He gave you to glorify Him. I think that's the best way to kind of shift that adversity into something positive,
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of a final question here. Who has been your biggest inspiration in your football and basketball career throughout your life?
Obviously, my dad. He never played football in high school. Actually, he never played football at all. He just loved it. But he was a big basketball player, since he could touch one.
Yeah.
All the way up to he played in high school and then went to Alabama and played the rec every day. And it's just something he loves to do. And he grew up playing a lot of football. And he went to Alabama, so I've been kind of indoctrinated into the Roll Tide spirit of things. So I've always, I've grown up, loving football. I grew up loving tight ends because my dad always loved tight ends. I ended up being one. It was, great. So definitely him. He's a great athlete, still plays basketball. Might have a Hoopalooza team this year.
Yeah.
Not with him, obviously. But he loves to play, and he loves to watch me play, and he's super supportive. So it's he's definitely an inspiration for me to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have. Cooper Kurth, thank you for joining me
on
your senior interview. Check out more stuff on the WCM. We had an interview with J-Mo last week, hosted by me and Finn Larsh. That's all the time we have. Thank you so much. Have a good one.